Have you ever just stopped and looked around and wondered who actually runs the world today? I mean, typically our minds go straight to countries, right? Presidents, prime ministers, lawmakers. But today we're going to dive into this explainer and explore a really fascinating shift. We are looking at how today's giant corporations have amassed a level of power that doesn't just shape economies or control our tech, it literally rivals entire sovereign nations. This is the story of the most powerful companies on Earth and exactly how they became virtually unstoppable. So we usually equate real power with traditional nations, governments, armies, the rule of law. But today, the real power brokers, they're global corporations, armed with trillions in wealth, operating the literal infrastructure of the globe, and engaging with billions of users every single day. These companies quietly dominate modern life. They influence everything from the phones sitting in our pockets right now to the food we order online. They affect the daily reality of billions of people. And this shift definitely didn't happen overnight. Hundreds of years ago, kings and empires held an absolute monopoly on trade and wealth. But then, as we moved into the 19th century and the Industrial Revolution, things started to shift. Companies producing goods at unprecedented speeds, think railroads, oil, massive factories, they created the very first billion-dollar empires. But then, we hit the modern era. The internet connected the globe, and a few incredibly brilliant companies took advantage of this digital web better than anyone else. They completely pivoted the ultimate source of power directly to the internet and to data. By sweeping up our data and building these inescapable global networks, a handful of tech corporations have reached valuations well over $1 trillion. And just to put that staggering number into perspective, if Apple were a country, its GDP would rival the United Kingdom. Think about that for a second. They haven't just built successful businesses, they have built massive private economies. Section 1. The Digital Empires, Building the Modern World. Let's break down the specific companies that serve as the pillars of our modern human infrastructure, starting with Apple. Today, Apple's true power goes way, way beyond just selling smartphones. Honestly, it acts as a global regulator. Their App Store policies function almost exactly like international trade tariffs, dictating the rules of commerce for millions of developers worldwide. And their unilateral privacy updates? They have the power to single-handedly cripple the advertising economies of other major tech giants. They shape global trends, they dictate consumer behavior, and they hold massive sway over entire global supply chains. Next up, we have to look at the absolute empire of logistics, Amazon. While we all know them for two-day shipping and online shopping, their real leverage is infrastructure power. Their logistics and delivery networks rival and honestly, in many cases, completely surpass the postal services of sovereign nations. They essentially control the physical flow of goods across borders at lightning speed. But as massive as their retail side is, their biggest hidden power lies in something you rarely interact with directly. Amazon Web Services, or AWS. So while we think of Amazon as a giant store, huge parts of the entire internet actually rely on Amazon's servers just to function. And we're not just talking about hosting standard blogs or websites here. AWS hosts highly classified data for national intelligence agencies. Sovereign governments are now heavily reliant on this private corporation just to keep their most sensitive digital infrastructure running. Then there's the company that knows, well, everything, Google. By controlling the dominant search engine, global maps, and huge video platforms, they act almost like a global digitized state media apparatus. Every single day, billions of us search for answers, for directions, for our news. Because of this, Google effectively acts as the arbiter of truth, practically dictating what billions of people perceive as true, relevant, or important on a daily basis. And we absolutely can't talk about digital empires without bringing up Microsoft. For decades, they have been the default for global offices and classrooms everywhere. But incredibly, their influence now reaches super deeply into highly secure military systems and massive cloud networks. Microsoft essentially acts as an active defender against state-sponsored cyber warfare. They are effectively serving as a private digital defense contractor for nations all around the world. Finally, we've got Meta. Billions of people use Meta's platforms every single day to talk to friends, consume their daily news, and form their core opinions about the world. To manage this totally unprecedented scale, Meta even went ahead and created an oversight board, which essentially functions as a private corporate Supreme Court. This board makes unilateral decisions on global free speech and election integrity that can entirely override the desires of actual national politicians. It's wild. Section 2. The physical bedrock, the enduring power of energy. But here's the thing. Digital empires run on physical power. Without the oil, gas, and electricity provided by traditional energy giants, our modern, highly advanced, digitally connected civilization would just completely struggle to function. I mean, you simply can't power massive global server farms without raw, physical energy. The sheer influence of energy corporations like Saudi Aramco and ExxonMobil is staggering because they control the massive global energy resources that power our cars, our factories, and our airplanes. They actually have the power to sway geopolitical alliances and dictate foreign policy. They act as massive power brokers on the global stage. Historically, they've shaped international conflicts and literally created immense wealth for entire nations. Section 3, the next frontier, the AI battlefield. Okay, so we've seen the digital and the physical. Now, a totally new race has begun. Artificial intelligence isn't just a fun new software update, it is an all-out arms race. Whoever achieves artificial general intelligence, or AGI, first won't just have a really good software product to sell. They will hold unprecedented strategic dominance over global security and economics. They'll be fundamentally reshaping how business is done, revolutionizing communication, and redefining military power entirely. In fact, some experts compare the AI race to the space race of the 20th century. But this time around, it's not just nations competing against each other. It's private companies with bottomless wallets fighting for ultimate technological dominance. They believe that AI will entirely shape the future economy. And let me tell you, they are sparing absolutely no expense to get there first. Section 4, the ultimate question: companies versus governments. This staggering scale of corporate power brings us to an increasingly important conflict. Governments right now are trapped in a losing game of regulatory whack-a-mole. These corporations employ populations the size of small countries, and they make decisions that ripple across global markets instantly. By the time a government drafts a law to try and regulate them, well, the technology has already evolved 3 generations past it. And that brings us to a really profound realization. These entities are no longer just businesses. They are global superpowers. Their algorithms shape our reality, raising a chilling question about who is actually steering the future of human freedom itself. As our digital systems become more interwoven into the very fabric of our daily lives, and as corporate influence just continues to grow, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to ponder today. In our modern era, who truly holds the power? Are companies now more powerful than governments? Seriously, think about that the next time you unlock your screen. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the world around you.